Welcome to Game Crunch, your weekly video game podcast. My name is Mike Anastasia, and with me today we have Brandon.
Hello.
And Nick is stuck at work again, like a schmuck.
What, did you want me to say something about him?
I don't know.
I was like,
Usually you have some witty comments, but you don't have to. He's not here.
I didn't have any reason to insult him.
Well, I was not insulting him. I was insulting his job.
Is schmuck not a fucking insult? SHMUC.
I think it's SCHMUC.
It might be. We'll figure it out. Yeah, a foolish or contemptible person. Man, you just insulted the fuck out of Nick for doing his job.
Well, he is foolish for letting his job run him into the ground like that. So,
Shit, you might be right.
We should probably get into the games. That's what we really want to talk about. So, all right. So, PlayStation conference. What do they call it? PlayStation something?
Showcase. Yeah.
The PlayStation Showcase.
Yep.
So, we're going to talk about this more or less the order that it was there. You watched it from beginning?
I did. I watched all of it, yes.
Okay. So, I'll be looking through, like we said, live stream, and you can just kind of take me through your thoughts on things.
Mm-hmm.
But so it looks like they showed off a remake of the Knights of the Old Republic.
We started with a remake of Knights of the Republic. No actual gameplay was shown. It was very little. It was just enough to be like, yo, we're remaking Knights of the Old Republic. And I was like, okay, this could go really well or very poorly, depending on how it's handled. Because, I don't know how... Have you played Knights of the Old Republic or know much about it or anything?
I had a couple hours of it.
All right, so Knights of the Old Republic is like one of the highest rated RPGs of all time. It's like incredibly good, very very well made, and it's basically Mass Effect before Mass Effect, and it's a fantastic game, and I actually really liked it when I was younger, and I would love to play a remake on PS5 that looks fantastic and is true to the original game, but that's what I'm worried about. So we will see how that goes, but they didn't really give us much information other than we're making it, and then that was it. So
yeah, I wonder if is it exclusively coming to the PS5?
It just said PS5 at the time, but this is a PlayStation showcase, so that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean
yes
that it's not just they're showing it off on PlayStation.
Yep. All right, so the next game that we're just going to head swiftly into is the best game of the showcase. I'm just saying that right now. This is the best game in the entire showcase. Many people will disagree with me, but they're wrong. Simple as that. This game's called Project Eve, and it looks like Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, Resident Evil, Parasite Eve, all rolled up into one. And it's like, yes, inject that straight into my veins. It looks amazing.
Okay. That's definitely right up your alley.
Oh, yeah.
It looks very like it should be like an anime-ish thing.
I wouldn't even say that. I would just say it's very Bayonetta. It's very Bayonetta. In fact, when I was watching the trailer for it, I was like, yo, is this Bayonetta? Did Nintendo just say, fuck it, let someone else make it all of a sudden? But that's not the case. But it looks like it's the case. So, this game looks awesome. And like I said, this is my favorite game from the entire show. So, there was a fight inside of a space station, and she got thrown out into, space, and then there was, a giant, Cthulhu monster attached to the space station, and all his eyes opened up, and somehow she could breathe in space, and she was saying a prayer, and they were back on Earth, presumably, but it was, overrun with, the monster things, but the monsters are, growth that, overtakes everything. In a biological sort of deal, and then it showed some of the gameplay. It looked like a mix of Bayonetta and Devil May Cry and some Dark Souls in there. And then it was just neat. It was just lots of parasites that had attached themselves to the thing and also grow up all over the barren world and make it its own place. And it looked really, really good. So yeah, that was my favorite thing that I saw in this showcase. So for me, it's all downhill from here. No, I'm joking. It's a pretty okay showcase. It was pretty good. It's just, you know how I mentioned the other week when we were talking about the PlayStation showcase that was announced, and I was like, oh, it'll probably be just this, and this, that sort of thing, where it's stuff we already know about, and that's about it. Yeah, that's the showcase. This is like one of the standout things that wasn't something we knew about beforehand. Everything else is pretty much everything we knew about already.
Well, and I can also say too, the other sad thing that we were worried about seems to be confirmed for pretty much just me glancing through this, and that is A, they have nothing for this year,
Yep, they have literally nothing this year.
and B, they've fallen into their old trap of let's announce things way in advance and hope that they actually make their dates. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's some things here that they announced for 2023 and 2024, and I was just like, what?
Yeah, crazy. I don't understand it. Like you saw how that worked out for you on like The Last of Us 2. Like why are
Mm-hmm.
you announcing stuff so far in advance? So, and even the one game you're just talking about, it doesn't even have a release date.
That's fine. It's okay. You can show things and not have a release date, and then that's fine. It's when you put a release date or a specific timing to something that's the problem. If that becomes like fucking like vaporware or whatever, whatever. We at least saw something of its existence, and that's that. It'll be like fucking deep down probably.
See, you know what I get worried more about though with
What's
those
that?
kind of games though? It's the what was that fucking dragon game that Platinum was making for Xbox and it showed up for like
Yell
3
Bell.
years. Yeah. Like that's the kind of like cuz they announced it so early that they couldn't even like get a concept together and they just ended up like puttering out. Like I don't know, that kind of sucks though too, you know? Like I mean, I guess I can see like I understand your point of view because it's not I don't necessarily disagree with it. It's nice to know that there's stuff coming out.
Yeah, I
Uh
mean, I think if you're not giving a specific date, so they're not feeling the pressure to have it done by that specific date, it's a lot better. Because, like, one of the things, even with Scalebound, was we had a date at the start, and then that didn't happen, and then it didn't happen again, and then it didn't happen again, and then it didn't happen again, and then it was canceled. And
yeah.
that's the problem I have. If you want to show something and just not tell me when it's coming out, yeah, I'm going to be a little bit annoyed because I actually want things to play on my system that I went out and spent money on and I was able to get a hold of. But it's good seeing what's coming from the future. And they did say in the quote for this event, this event is for the future of PlayStation 5 and Sony consoles. That's what they said. That was one of the main things. So they were sticking to that. This is stuff for the future. It's really nothing for the now. And that's a big problem. That's the biggest problem I have. There's nothing. It's nothing. There's nothing this year.
Yeah, and they don't really have much for next year either.
I'm gonna have to wait on that one because I do think they have some stuff for next year.
You don't
So
think they
we'll
would have
move
showed
on.
it now? Well, we'll talk about it as we go through. We can talk.
They
We can talk
did
about it
show
more.
some stuff for next year now, so
Well,
that's why I said that.
I know there's some things in
Mhm.
there, but like I said, we'll talk about it as we go through. So, okay. So next one on there was the oh god, why can't I
What?
think of the Borderlands spinoff?
Yeah, this is Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and this actually looked a lot better than I expected it to. So the best part of Borderlands 2, in my opinion, is the Bunkers and Badass DLC. I don't know how much you played or if you played any of Borderlands 2,
I
but
didn't play any of them.
okay. So the Bunkers and Badass DLC is after a main character in the game gets murdered. Tiny Tina, who has the mentality of like a child mostly because she tries to like hide away in like innocence to avoid like all the death and pain and everything that's going on around her and all the people that she's lost and whatnot. So in the DLC for Bunkers and Badasses, she actually decided to make a D&D campaign. So the entire DLC is structured like a D&D campaign where she's even like announcing what's going on and talking about it and everything like, oh, you roll the dice and blah blah blah, and this comes out and it changes the dynamic of the gameplay a lot because she's a dungeon master, so she's just changing it up on the fly and everything because she's just trying to have fun and forget that one of her best friends just died basically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very well thought out and well made DLC. And this DLC, this isn't a DLC, this is a full title that's a lot like that. And I don't know when it takes place, but it seems like she's trying to use this yet again to like repress the memories of something bad that happened. But this game looked like a lot of fun. It had a lot of elements of Dungeons and Dragons in it, obviously. More so than even the Muckers and Badasses DLC did, and that already had a lot in it. Like this actually has dice rolls and stuff like that. It actually has mimic like chests that you can kill and fight and that sort of thing. It seems like each character is themed after like a warlock or like you know, a druid, you know, the normal kind of classes you would have in D&D, that sort of thing. And yeah, this actually looked really good, and it comes out March 25th, 2022. So it is one of those fabled 2022 games that we did see.
Yeah, but it's also everything too, though.
What?
But it's also coming for everything too.
That is very true. That is also very true. You're not wrong about that. But I will say this, I'm just kind of don't care anymore. I don't give a shit if it's coming to every system, as long as it's coming. Like that's one of the things. Like a lot of people are like giving Microsoft shit for the not having exclusives and everything, and I'm just sitting here like, you know, I actually kind of like the not having exclusives thing. I like that because I can play your games anywhere. And we're gonna get to that with Sony in a little while as well. And I kind of feel like they might be trying to like dip their toes in that water a little bit more, and I hope it works out for them. Moving on to the next thing is Forspoken, which we got another trailer for Forspoken.
Is this the game that you were really jazzed up on in the last trailer?
I don't think so. This is the one with the like girl that is like in a normal place and she gets teleported and she's like fighting dragons and shit. But she's like
so that the one where had like the I swear this is the one that you had us watch the trailer for. Because you're like, oh, it's pretty cool, the lady and the dragon thing.
No. This is not the. I don't think this is the same one. No. I don't think this.
Do you
is
know
the
which
same
game
one.
I'm talking about? I don't remember.
No, I do not, but I don't think it's this one because this is the one that I said had like Zoomer humor, where she's like, "Oh no, oh, you know, that sort of thing." Like,
oh, maybe that's why you had us watch it.
Yeah, I may have, but yeah, but you know, it looks like they toned that back. She just seems like a normal teenager now, and looks like maybe they understand that they're not always constantly talking like that. And this looks a lot better. It seems really cool. Like she has the abilities to like fire blast of fire out of her hand, and she can like go flying through the air. And this actually looks it looks incredible. Like it does look really good. And this is going back to what you were just talking about. This is an exclusive. You were looking for exclusives, and this is an exclusive launching in 2022, supposedly. Spring specifically. Not a set date, but spring 2022.
What?
So we'll see how that goes. I don't think this looks bad. I think it looks better than the first trailer.
Yeah, but I also don't like, at least from what I've seen,
Mm-hmm.
it also doesn't look like it's exciting either.
It
might be.
I think the new trailer made it look a lot more exciting.
Okay, I just like skimmed through the trailer as we were talking, and I was like, I mean, I don't know, it just doesn't look like anything special.
Okay,
it might be. It's very possible. But the other thing too is like I think I'm just kind of biased against Square Enix for like when they ever try anything new.
No, I completely understand. I'm kind of I actually have Square Enix on my block list for games on Steam. I don't ever want to see them.
Hey, that's fair.
I'm sick and tired of their shit, the same thing over and over again. And then they released Bravely Default 2 on PC, and I was like, all right, Square Enix, I see you. I see what you're doing there.
It's a trap,
but,
Brandon.
Yeah, it is absolutely a trap. I'm not yeah. Anyway, moving on. The next thing we saw was the 12th trailer for Rainbow Six Extraction.
Is that a legitimate number, or is that like...
Dude, I've seen so many trailers for this game, it's insane at this point. I'm pretty sure we're at like in the double digits. I've seen full playthroughs of levels for this game. I'm so sick and tired of it, but yet it still looks like it'd be a lot of fun. So in case you don't know, Rainbow Six Extraction is the Rainbow Six Siege like spin-off title where they're like fighting like mutant alien humanoid things that have taken over. It's the zombie virus one that you saw. You know, the one they showed forever ago. Yeah, it got a release date, and its release date is January 2022. So there's that. Up next is probably the one thing that I was excited about that releases this year, and that's Alan Wake Remastered.
Yeah, this is a surprise.
Yeah, so it says fall 2021, but I'm pretty sure it's October 5th. I think that's the date that they gave. So yeah, for the first time on PlayStation, Alan Wake will be making its appearance, and it'll be a PS5 remaster, but you can also play it on PS4. And yeah, it looks really good, like really good. So looking forward to that one. That one actually, I'm kind of excited to get. Uh, After this, we got. All right, listen. When we announced the PlayStation 5, we opened up with this trailer. And now we're diving back in to this trailer. And it's GTA 5 for PlayStation 5. And they gave us a release date of March 22nd, 2022.
I mean,
Okay.
maybe. How hard could it be to remake this game again for like the billionth time?
Yeah, this is like the fourth time. All right,
But
so,
does it look nice?
I mean, I play on PC, so it didn't look like anything to me. It just looked the same. So,
That's fair.
after that, we got a trailer for Ghostwire Tokyo. What I would say is one of my second favorite games that we got in this thing. This just looks fantastic. Like I got nothing else to say other than this game just keeps looking awesome every single time I see it. Um, it is a timed console exclusive confirmed, and it will release in 2022. They showed where there's like some shady dude that's like manipulating the world or something, and like all the like folklore of like Japanese mythology. That's like the ghost in this game that you have to deal with. So like you had like Sachiko and all this other stuff there. And if you know like the stories of those, then it's pretty fucked up. And it looked really good. So Ghostwire
It's got some
Tokyo.
nice visuals.
It looks fantastic.
I mean, is that actual gameplay though, or is it just like
Yes.
what they
Yes, it's
think it's
actual
going to
game.
look like?
No, it's
Okay.
actual gameplay.
All right, interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. This one looks awesome. I've been excited for this since it was announced. So like seeing new stuff for it and having like a tentative release date, that makes me really, really excited. Up next we got another 10 to 15 minute, not really, but we got another package of Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm so sick
Yay.
of seeing this. I don't know how many times I saw this during E3.
Too many
Yeah.
is the correct
Um,
answer.
yeah. So October 26th, 2021. So we got that to look forward to, yeah. hmm
Yeah.
After that, we got Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt, which is an online multiplayer battle royale in the Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines universe.
Oh, yay.
Yes. That was announced to be coming to PlayStation 5 in 2022.
I was worried about not having enough battle royales on the PlayStation 5. So.
Yeah, me too, honestly. I was thinking, man, we are overdue for like 6 more sometime soon. And they were like, you know what, bro, I got you. And they did. They had me. And I was just like, all right, cool. All right, next we have Deathloop. We've got our 5 billionth trailer for Deathloop. Listen, I just want to play this game at this point. It looks good. It hasn't stopped looking good, but it's at the point where like continuously showing me so many story trailers for this game. I'm pretty sure I now have the entire plot of the game spoiled for me via the amount of trailers I've seen since it was first announced. And this one, we don't have long to wait for it, releases next week.
Oh, that's good.
It releases on Tuesday, to be more specific. So there you go.
That's very soon. I mean, that's a nice surprise.
Well, we already knew what day it was releasing. It had
Oh.
already been announced. It was announced long ago.
Well, it's a nice surprise that it's coming out on time.
Honestly, yeah, but like I do think that the developer that makes these games, which if I'm not mistaken, this is Arcane, maybe, Dishonored people, they tend to release their things and when they say they're going to, more or less. Let's see who's making Deathloop. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find excuses to add more to this podcast because like I really don't care about some of these things in this.
Well, you don't want to talk about some of these games endlessly?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Yeah, it's Arcane.
Okay.
Yeah, Arcane. Arcane's good. They're like really good actually. So, yay. This next game, we did not see enough to even know what the fuck this is. It's called Kid Messia Exhibition, and all I know is that it flashed on the screen a Epic Games and Radiohead presentation. I don't know what the fuck this means. Like, is it the band Radiohead?
It's gotta be, right? I just watched the trailer and I'm like, I don't know what this is. I can't tell you.
This is a Radiohead album. This is a interactive expedition through the new Radiohead album that releases in November. Releasing on PS5.
Idea.
That's a neat idea. Don't really like Radiohead, but okay, cool.
Yeah.
This next game I also think is probably one of the best in shows. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not going to attempt to. Tachia. We're gonna try that. Essentially, what this is a adventure exploration game that's open world where you play as like
A child?
sort of, but you're like growing up in like this group of people. It's not like a tribe. It's like I don't know what the hell it is. But anyway, it has some really neat elements, such as the fact that you can possess any animal in the game, and then you can use it to solve puzzles. So you can become that animal, and then you get to play as that animal. So like in the game, it showed them possess like a really powerful crab to like break this rusted chain off of a treasure chest so that they could open it and find out what was inside the treasure chest. Thought it was really neat. They possessed a turtle, and then you could control the turtle, and you were able to swim underwater and like hunt for like hidden treasure and stuff like that. I don't know what the plot of this is per se because it showed towards like the end some like big bad corporation thing and then like them jumping off to this like floating island where like it looks a lot more mechanical and like a corporate area and it's just so very weird. But it was really cool looking. Like I said, very interesting concept, very different from so many of the other things we saw here today. And I was just like, good. That's what we need. We need interesting and different things. And that's what we got.
Yeah.
Speaking of interesting and different, the next thing wasn't. No. and that was that was Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, and Lost Legacy being remastered for the PS5 and the PC.
Oh.
Yeah, in the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection. So early 2022, Uncharted will be actually releasing on PC. And I know you don't give a shit, Mike, but that's a pretty big step when you move something like your two biggest franchises to PC. That's a huge step. You know what I mean? Like, the Uncharted was a massive franchise for PlayStation. It was like on the box, you know, before like Last of Us and before, you know, the new God of War. And you know, Horizon Zero Dawn is still on like the boxes of new PlayStations, and both of those being on PC really makes me think that Sony's going to try to break more into the PC market with them putting like these big hitters onto the platform.
Well, they did acquire a studio, and that was that sole purpose of that studio, right?
Yes, that is very true. Yes.
So I mean,
I'm wondering just how far they'll go with it.
Speaking of, because I know it doesn't come up in here, but speaking of Horizon Zero Dawn. There was an update on the story that we talked about last week.
Yes.
Since you mentioned it. So they changed their minds and there now is an upgrade path to the PlayStation 5. However, they were like, we're never doing this again.
And that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I feel like this is such a bait and switch because when the PlayStation 5 was first announced and before it released, they said that the first party titles would have free upgrades from PS4 to PS5. They made this abundantly clear. They made it a selling point for the system. as a way to combat like Xbox Series S and X's smart delivery. And now they're going back on it. Before many people have even been able to get a hold of a system. And I think that's absolutely ridiculous and so like Sony to pull some bait and switch bullshit like this. You can't trust them as far as you can fucking throw them. It is what it is. It's difficult to throw an entire corporation, in case you didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I think it's really fucking stupid.
No, I do too. And listen, that's just kind of how we see Sony being these days. I mean, I guess at least give them the benefit that at least they're being like very clear. They rectified what they did with this, but at the same time, though,
they should have never had to rectify it because it wasn't what they said they were gonna do, and that's the problem.
My guess is they probably were this. How would I put this? My guess is they probably were not planning to support the PlayStation 4 as long as they have. And so now they kind of put themselves in a situation where they had to clarify that they were not going to do that.
And that's fine. I understand that. But the issue here is you don't make promises and then have a system that can't actually be delivered for up to almost 2 years of it being released to people. You still can't walk into a place and just buy the system. And if you made those promises to people and those people couldn't even get a hold of your fucking system because of the like shortages and everything, and then you just pull your promises out before many people can even get one into their own living room, that's ridiculous. I think that's absolutely ridiculous and stupid.
It's odd to me, like when you're supporting both systems, and you're trying to get people to upgrade from one to the other, like why you wouldn't do something like this, because Microsoft is doing it, and if you're talking like digital copies, it's not like they're really losing anything. Like these people already, if they had a PS5, they would have already given the $60 for it anyways, or whatever. So, I don't know, just kind of like a gross feeling.
Sony makes things needlessly complicated on the upgrade path of like gaming right now for the PS5. It's so complicated. There have literally been people that have bought PS5 and didn't realize why their like games weren't running as well, and it's because it installed the PS4 version. And it didn't even tell them. And they were playing that on the PS5. And so the game didn't look as good and it didn't play as good because Sony just didn't tell them that they installed the PS4 version instead. It's like incredibly complicated the way that you have to do things with Sony, and it's so fucking stupid compared to like my Series S. I literally just start the download and it's like, we see you have a Series S. We will install the 1440p textures, the auto HDR versions of the game, and you'll be deducted like 20 gigs off the original game because there you go. That's what this system can handle, and done. Now we're installing. And it's like, okay, cool. I bought that game back in the original Xbox One, and you've now upgraded it fully and also are installing only the bits and pieces that I need for my specific console. It's like, all right, that's such a way better system.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. And a lot of the confusion is because there is that overlap between the two. It's like where you can buy both of them in the same store, like side by side, which makes no sense. Like, I don't know. I don't get it.
It's dumb. Let's move on to the next game. This game I actually really dig. I think it will be pretty good. They announced a Wolverine themed game by Insomniac Games, and I'm pretty excited for that because Insomniac Games pretty good at making games. Wolverine, very good franchise, and he can be very violent and gruesome, and you can do a lot of things with Wolverine as a character. So
yeah. But this is also like a non-trailer trailer.
Oh no, you're 100% right. There's nothing to this trailer. It's very nothing. But the fact of the matter that Insomniac Games is working on a Wolverine game, like even if they just like gave me that little bit of information and then it was like, here's concept art, I'd be like, okay, that's cool. Like, yeah, this is nothing, but this is still a cool bit of nothing to know that it's something that's coming in the future.
Yeah, but I feel like Insomniac can handle this well. They've done very well with superhero games. So I mean that's reassuring. Like I like that, but it does also fall into the no fucking clue when this is coming out anytime soon.
Yes, you're 100% right. Yeah, there's no information on release date or anything. It was just a non-trailer trailer, and then it's being made.
Yeah,
So
and
it's another one of those.
especially considering too, one of the next there's another Insomniac game that we have to talk about, and
Yep.
that one's not coming out until 2023. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
it's like,
you're right. All right.
maybe you're showing this game off a little early. Anyways, so
Moving on, we got Gran Turismo 7 with a release date of March 4th, 2022.
which I wish
So,
Nick was here to talk about this because I know he would have.
well, I don't know how Nick probably feels about the Gran Turismo series, because even though he likes cars, there are many people that I know that like racing games, and they're just like, the Gran Turismo series just doesn't really do anything for me, so I'm not sure how he would feel about it. And I'm one of those people where I'm like, the Gran Turismo series really doesn't do much for me. There's not really that much to it. It's a racing game and it's pretty. All right, that's it. That's really all there is to Gran Turismo at the end of the day. It's always a graphical powerhouse, so it's always the best way to show off the technology of your system. Even back to the PlayStation 1 days, it was the best way to show off the technology of the system. And it's always a good, fun racing game, but it's nothing that really stands out to me, in my opinion. Other than like the Gran Turismo that was on PS2, which stands out specifically because there was like a map that took so fucking long to race. And like other than that, it's just it's there. It's good. There's nothing wrong with it. It just doesn't really do anything for me. And I'm pretty sure Nick would probably feel the same way, to be completely honest.
Oh, maybe, but at least the nice thing is Nick could at least tell us about how the game is in
That's
like a
true.
meaningful way because he's so like familiar with like the different
Well, he may be
like
familiar
aspects.
with cars, but I'm familiar with technology, and I can safely say I was fucking blown away in this trailer when I was looking at like I'm gonna say it was like the city of London, like the street lamps and everything, and then it zoomed out and it was actually the reflection on the hood of the car, and I was like, holy shit, that's so good. Like the reflections were so good that they literally made people think, "Oh, we're showing off a little bit of the sky," and some of the like environment, and it was just a reflection of the actual environment in the car, and that was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, no,
So,
they did a very good job with the lighting and everything on this.
hmm so you alluded to this next one, and that's Insomniac's next game,
Mm-hmm.
which they're announcing way too early.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if they also just spoiled an upcoming movie.
Oh, really? Why do you think that?
Because this is Spider-Man and Venom together.
Mm-hmm.
This is Spider-Man 2, and it might be a completely like separate thing, but it did sound like some of the people that were talking were the people that were maybe in the movies. So I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure Tom Holland wasn't in this, but I do think I heard the guy that plays Venom. I'm not 100% sure though. So I'm curious
Oh,
if like this is going to be like a movie tie-in or something. I don't think it will be, but it'd be really funny if they were like, "We gotta announce this game super fast." Also, fuck, we didn't even tell anyone this movie was coming out yet.
wouldn't surprise me.
So
Oh, yeah, this is a
who
super
knows?
early trailer, isn't
But
it?
this trailer did at least show gameplay. At least I think it did. I'm pretty sure this showed gameplay.
It didn't look like it from what I just saw.
It was a bit, but it did look like gameplay.
We're still talking about Spider-Man, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
It did not look like it.
Uh,
And then the trailer, actually, the trailer says
maybe. Actually, I'm
it
looking at
does
this
says
trailer.
footage captured on PS5,
Yeah,
so it
I'm
might
gonna
be like
say
actual.
so I'm gonna say this right now. I'm looking at this trailer, and
Mhm.
this isn't the gameplay that I saw. So I'm gonna have
Okay.
to find another trailer, which I think was a highlights of all the things that were shown today, and it actually had gameplay from the Spider-Man in it. So
Okay.
that's what I think happened because I definitely remember seeing him with like the the actual spider suit where it's like all the extra arms and everything, and he was like beating up a bad guy and he like kicked him up into the air and then he used one of his arms to like punch him, like the thing. But like this is not in this trailer. So I'm
Okay.
curious if I'm crazy or if that actually is in like one of the highlight reels. I'll look at that later.
I mean, you do have
So
a
let's
very active imagination.
yeah, it's true.
Mhm.
Actually, I
Okay.
don't even have to look at it later. I've got the highlight reel thing right here. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, it said more updates in 0, and here we go. And then gameplay captured from a PlayStation 5 system. And then, yeah. No, you're right.
Nothing.
Nothing. I'm not seeing anything.
Interesting.
I could have sworn I saw some. It's weird. Maybe it was in the after credit show. I don't know. But we're just going to ignore that and move on. So let's go to the last thing that was announced, which is the thing that everyone is probably going to take away from this showcase more so than anything else. And that was God of War Ragnarok.
What, it had the name that everyone thought it was going to be called?
I know, isn't that fucking crazy?
And it actually shows gameplay? What?
It did. Isn't that crazy?
I know.
One of the interesting things about this, though, is the person that worked on the original God of War is not doing this one. That
Which one?
was one of the big takeaways. Like the last God of War, the one that this is a sequel to directly, this
Uh-huh.
isn't directed by the same person.
Oh, okay.
He
I was
passed the
like,
reins
are
over
you
to someone
talking
else,
about?
and during like an interview, he was like, "I'm lazy. I don't want to do the next one." Pretty much is what he said.
I was like,
So
are you talking about David Jaffe? Because I'm like, I don't think he's worked on these for like a
no, 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 no,
long
no, no,
time.
no, 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 no. Whoever made the new reboot God of War that everyone shit their britches over, that was actually a really good fucking game, and they deserve to do so. Whoever made that game in an interview after this, they were like, "Why did you decide to pass on the game to the new director?" And he's like, "I just didn't feel like doing it." Basically, is what he said. It's like that's kind of spooky. I don't know what's I don't know if that's a good idea to hear something like that. You know, it kind of makes me
Yeah.
worried a little bit. But what we did see, gameplay and cutscene, and just in general, video wise, it looked phenomenal. It looked really good. Did we know it was coming? Yes. Did I expect to see it? Yes. Was I surprised? Absolutely not. So again, this is another one of those things where it's like, yay! This looks awesome. This looks great. I will definitely play it, but like, uh, I'm just at the point where I'm so sick and tired of having things announced. Like you were saying, I think you're right. I'm so sick and tired of having things announced, and then like people hype up their big showcase for the future of it, and it's that thing that was announced again there, just with more of it. And it's like, bro, by the time I actually get this fucking game in my hands, I'm just gonna know the plot. And like that's a big issue.
But that
And they
was the
haven't done
problem.
it with God of War yet. So
Not yet.
good.
But you know what's
Not
really
yet,
worrying
yeah.
about that God of War trailer?
Now,
Do you
what were you
know?
saying about being really worrying? Sorry,
I said,
someone came in.
oh no, it's okay. I'm like, do you know what? Do you know what's really worrying about that God of War trailer?
What's
What my
that?
biggest concern is?
Hmm.
They didn't slap a date on it.
Oh yeah, that's very true. There is no date. Now that could
Yeah,
be something to worry about, and it is, but it also could be a good thing. No, who am I kidding? This isn't coming out till like 2024 at this point.
that's because that's the thing. Because it's like, it was slated for next year.
Mhm.
So it's like, you think if that's what you were looking at, you'd slap a date on it. But I think the fact that they didn't even want to put a year on it,
And then, like I
that's
said, the
worrying.
original director was like, I just didn't feel like doing it. You know, in his interview, it makes me think, oh, oh, uh-oh. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
uh-oh, that's not good.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? It could definitely come out next year. I mean, maybe they're just being like very cautious about what they say. But my initial thought is if they're not going to slap a date on it, they aren't sure if it's going to come next year either.
hmm
So we'll see. We'll see. Because I
No,
imagine they're
I
probably,
don't. I'm pretty sure this is not coming out next year in any way, shape, or form.
yeah. And I mean, considering the backlash they got for Horizon, I think they just are like, let's just be non-committal to it and see what happens, and hopefully everything like uh, for stuff that's 2 years out, maybe they're like, well, we won't get as much shit about it.
hmm
But I mean, yeah, think about it. If you're talking 2022, that means that game's coming out in probably around a year or less from now,
hmm
theoretically speaking. And yeah, I don't, just it's not. But it's just like the same thing they did with the Horizon Zero Dawn, where we kept on saying like they keep on saying 2021, but I'm like,
hmm
it's August. Like you don't have a date for it yet. You don't know when it's coming out this year. 4 months left. Hmm. So I don't know. We'll see. So I mean, but I guess at least in terms of like first party stuff for next year, I mean Sony has God of War, and they have
No, they don't.
or not God of War. Duh. I swear to God, I meant to say Gran Turismo. Yeah, no
We
Gran
literally
Turismo.
just talked about how they don't have God of War, my friend.
I know. Where's my mind? Not in the right place, apparently. So they have Gran Turismo, like, and they seem like they're pretty set on that because they were
Mhm.
like, day, date, year, like there we go. And I mean, Horizon Zero Dawn, I feel like is a safe bet at this point. So I mean, you got those two things, but yeah, that's it. That's all we know so far because nothing else is like firmly set from a first party standpoint in that time. So I don't know, but I do agree with you. You're right. Like they do have a little bit more third party support coming out. So I mean,
Yeah.
next year definitely won't be like as abysmal as this year has been.
Hmm.
But I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like, uh, I don't know, man. I just don't know.
Yeah,
I
nobody.
There's nothing here this year. That's one of the bigger problems, bigger issues that I have. And I think that was your biggest issue also. Because like you like look at you know what? I'm doing it. I'm just gonna pull up GameStop. Sorry, Mike. I know this is a little bit of PTSD for you, but I'm gonna go to coming soon games and I'm gonna mark it by PS5. And I'm gonna look at what is releasing this year.
They should have like a Call of Duty, right?
We have one Call of Duty?
Oh, just one. That's it.
Yeah. All
Oh,
right, so we got Call of Duty, we got Jurassic World Evolution 2, we got Dying Light, Riders Republic, Guardians of the Galaxy. They won't let us forget about Guardians of the Galaxy.
no.
Battlefield 2042,
Oh, we know we have that Alan Wake remake now.
yeah, Alan Wake, Back for Blood, Far Cry 6, Lost Judgment. That one I'm actually excited for. Death Stranding Director's Cut. Also excited for that one. Deathloop. That's it. There you go.
Oh,
You're done.
don't
That's it.
overstimulate me like that, Brandon.
I'm so sorry.
Just so much. It was overload.
I mean, I wouldn't know where to go from there either. I mean, it's just, fuck, dude.
Yeah. So I mean, definitely not like super captivating year.
We actually have more things in winter slash early 2022 than the rest of this year combined, like legitimately. So let me just go ahead and throw this out there. All right.
Yeah, sure.
Um, January of next year, Rainbow Six Extraction.
Okay.
January of next year, Elden Ring. February of next year, Horizon Forbidden West.
Okay.
Saints Row. March, Tiny Tina, Wonderlands. Fuck, there was a lot more. There was a lot more. There was a lot more because we just saw it for March. Gran
Gran
Turismo
Turismo.
7. There's like two more that were also in there, and I can't remember what they were now because I just already my brain already shut them off. But we announced them. But the point is, there is more stuff that looks interesting and worth playing in January to March than the entire rest of this year combined. On
Yeah.
the PlayStation side of things, at least. On the PlayStation side of things.
It's no good.
No, it's really not. They ain't gonna win any awards for this year. They sure as fuck ain't winning any awards for this year.
No. I don't think they. This is gonna be a tough year again for Game of the Year.
I think a lot of systems that aren't Sony are releasing some really good fucking games this year.
Yeah, I mean it's not like there's not
You got
not
Metroid
any.
Dread, you got Halo Infinite,
Yeah.
you've
Metroid's less
got
than a month away now too.
yeah. Um
Mhm.
like I mentioned, you've got Deathloop, which Deathloop actually looks really good, and that's on everything. I think Deathloop might be like a sleeper hit, to be completely honest. I think a lot of people aren't going to play it because it's been shoved down our throat for so long, but the people that do play it are going to be like, yo, that shit's fucking great.
Hopefully. That's what you want.
Looking at Switch, I mean, you've got, like I said, you've got Metroid Dread, you got Shin Megami Tensei 5, you've got uh Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, you got Mario Party Superstars, you've got There was like two other things, and I don't remember what they are. But my
Well,
point is, Advanced Wars 1 and 2 remaster.
yep. And then there's the big brain.
The Brain Age thing. I don't think that's gonna win any awards, but like just
It
in general,
might.
there's way more games that are interesting coming to Switch and Xbox
Hmm.
than there is PlayStation.
Yeah.
And it's not normally like this. I really do think the Sony be slipping.
Yeah. I agree. Like they don't have anything. I mean, well, I think we talked about it before. It definitely seems like mismanagement of like their what they got going on
Hmm.
in terms of like with stuff, because obviously they had to have stuff out for launch, but then it's like they just didn't seem to pace things out very well.
Hmm. I'm
So
really just hoping that we get some games for PlayStation. They're like small bite-sized games here and there, and then I'm just like, okay, that's fine. That's good. That's what we needed. You know what I mean?
uh-huh.
Like like how we had like this year we had, the Scott Pilgrim remaster. And we're supposed to have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles new game. I think that's one of my biggest problems. Like if I look over here, right? If I pull up Game Pass right now, for instance, right?
Yeah.
If I pull up Game Pass, there's a steady stream of things I was not expecting to see that just gets added like daily.
Hmm.
Like they surprised us with Quake Remastered. They, Psychonauts 2 just came out. They've surprised us with a Myst remaster, like the old game Myst, and it's really good.
Hmm.
You've got all this stuff. Surgeon Simulator 2 was just put on there. Um, The Artful Escape, which I haven't got to play, released today. Like all this shit just appears if you pay a subscription fee for Xbox, right?
Yeah.
And Sony's just not surprising me. Even when they announce games, they're not surprising me. It's just like, all right,
Yeah.
I guess that's cool,
Just just you know, clicking those boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I just don't know, dude. I just don't know
I don't know either.
what they're trying to do. They're not pulling it off, whatever it is.
Well, it's also, and I think we talked about it before. It's like, do they have to? I mean, they should not beat around the bush. They should, but at the same time, like they're not, and they can't even keep their system in stock.
Yeah.
And now they're saying chip shortages until 2023.
Yeah, so like by the time people can actually buy systems, the one they'll be able to buy will be better than the one I bought day one. And
Yeah,
that's
probably.
really upsetting. That's actually upsetting because then you have the people that supported you and then it's just like, really? I don't know,
Yeah.
man. I've got a lot of things. None of them are really good to say about Sony and the way they've handled this.
No. Yeah.
See, like I think uh Microsoft has done a much better job of handling this in every way, shape, and form, especially for like what they announced for their last Xbox thing. Because like I told you what they announced for the last Xbox thing, right? Even like the
Uh,
games that use like ray tracing and stuff that literally the Xbox Series S, not Series S, but the Xbox One S and the Xbox
mhm.
One X and the Xbox original can't handle, you'll still be able to play on those systems. Like I told you about that, right?
Yeah.
But through their streaming service, and you'll have the ray
Mhm.
tracing and everything. Like that stuff. Why not Sony? You have PlayStation now. Why don't you just loop that in to your PlayStation Plus service, right? Because I'm pretty sure no one's paying for it separately. I'm pretty sure no one's really paying for PlayStation now. Just
No.
loop that into your PS Plus service and then allow people to play PlayStation 5 games via streaming on their PS4s. Dude, that's all you gotta do. That's all you have to do. And then until systems come out, man, you motherfuckers, you can at least have people be satisfied where they could still play the games, such as Returnal, such as Ratchet and Clank, which Ratchet and Clank and Returnal, both great games. Those might be the only two Sony exclusives we get this year, and they were great games. So it's at least they put out two of the best.
Yeah.
So there's that. But like, man, I wanted some Returnal DLC. I wanted to hear something about Ratchet and Clank if there was going to be any more stuff added to it. Like, they're not even supporting those games after you've beaten them. After you've beaten them, it's just like, what do I do now? And the game's just like, I don't fucking know. And it's just like,
Yeah. I
oh,
don't care.
okay.
Whatever you want to do. Go play
Go
something
play
else.
something else. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what's happening. And I'm just sitting here like, bro, I paid like $70 for both of you a piece. Ratchet
I
and
know.
Clank does have a lot of replayability, but Returnal like doesn't, in my opinion. Yeah, I guess I could collect some of the stuff and go do more runs and everything, but like, what's the fucking point? It's just upsetting.
I know. I don't disagree. And this is from someone who had a GameCube and had to play Luigi's Mansion over and over and over again
I do
for months
like
on end.
Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, I mean Luigi's Mansion was great. It was not great for like the 3 months that was the only game that I had,
Hmm.
but it was great. Was it 3 months? I don't remember. It was for a while, maybe just a month or two.
Oh, the breaking news, I guess. The Alan Wake remaster on PS5 is only $30.
Ooh,
I'm looking at it right now on the PlayStation Store.
not too shabby.
Not bad at all, honestly. And that's a PS5 version, not PS4 version. That's a PS5 version. So
That'll probably be like free on Game Pass.
you're so right. It hurts that you're so right.
Who knows? Maybe it won't be. It's possible. It's very possible. Another game I'm
Hmm.
excited for this year, speaking of,
Oh,
is Jackbox Party Pack 8.
is that coming out this year?
Yeah,
Oh, very
the
nice.
games look pretty wild. I was watching trailers for them just now,
Okay.
and it's got some interesting. It's got Drawful Animate, which we talked about before. It's like Drawful, but you're animating things.
Hmm.
And it's got like a murder mystery game where you're like drawing things and like hiding clues. That's pretty cool. It's got like a trivia game that's like, I don't know, Wheel of Fortune, and you like spin a wheel
Okay.
and it does something. And then it's got like a poll game. It's called the Poll Mine, and then you got to like figure out where like the people you're playing with rank things, and then that helps you progress through this mine that you're trapped in. And
That's
then
neat.
there, yeah, and then there's one that probably will be a dumb game, but they always have one in the Jackbox Party Pack games. It's called Job Job, but it might be good. Could be good, but then you answer questions like interview questions using these like phrases, and you can pick out words from each of the phrases and like link them together.
Sounds
So
kind
it
of
could be good.
funny.
Yeah, could be good. Depends. Sometimes it depends. You know, a lot of those games, and I'm sure you've
Hmm.
seen it. It all depends on who you're playing with.
Hmm.
So some games that are great with some people just absolutely like do not work with others.
Yeah.
I think I can't remember if I told you or not. So I've got Jackbox Party Pack 5
Hmm.
with like because I was so excited because like we like to play trivia games like when we have our game nights, and so I'm like, oh yes, it's got you know, you don't know Jack. And I'm like, oh, they're gonna love this because we love the trivia games. This
Hmm.
one plays different. They hated it, like absolutely hated it.
They hated everything to do with
Like,
you don't know Jack, which is what
yeah,
started the fucking series. All right,
absolutely.
wonderful.
Like nothing I like about this game, and I was like,
That
okay,
sucks. I love You Don't Know Jack. Did you?
I know, I do
So
too.
like, did you play it back when it used to be a browser game and they would update the questions weekly?
I played it back when it was a CD-ROM game, Brandon.
Well, no, I did that too, but I'm saying, did you also get to experience it when it was a browser game and they updated the questions weekly on their official website? It was
I don't know
so
if
fucking cool.
I don't know if I played the browser game. I think it was somewhat, if I remember, I might not be right, but I
Hmm.
think it was somewhat linked to the because they had like the Facebook game. Is that the one you're
Hmm.
thinking about? Where
Uh,
and they had like weekly
mm,
events, and then
no.
you got to
So this
challenge
was
the
before that.
people's
This
scores.
was before that.
Oh,
This
okay.
was when I was in high school. Basically, the browser game was you went onto the You Don't Know Jack site, and in the browser on the You Don't Know Jack site, you could play the game with like four people on the same computer. And when you played it, it would have like different categories you could choose, but every week they would rotate out and have new categories. And they would also have it updated based on adding like stuff that was relevant as recent as like the week before you played it. So like it was really cool. It was really well done.
That is pretty nice. I
Yeah,
mean, I
I
did
played it
like
with my
the
friend a long time ago.
yeah. No, I like that sounds great. I like the Facebook version that they did too, because it was kind of similar and it had
Hmm.
like, let's say it had like weekly events that you would like play through, and then like any of your
Hmm.
friends that played through it, you kind of like competing for the top score.
Yeah, the only reason
So
I knew this one wasn't the Facebook is because like this was back during MySpace days.
yeah, no, when you said it, I was like, that's too old. And I don't think this one had like same like at the same time, like
Uh-huh.
playing. I think it was like not simultaneous. I can't think of the other word. Like asynchronous. There we go.
Okay.
Or like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, no.
Hmm.
You could play on the same, like, yeah. It was good. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm looking forward to that too. That'll be nice. All they've given so far is a generic fall 2021.
Of
But
course.
for a game like this, like I'm not like it's gonna slip until next year.
Mm-hmm.
This is just more like, I mean, they're used to getting these out yearly, and
Mm-hmm.
they've already had gameplay up for all the games. Like they're doing the rounds on like the YouTubers now. So
Ah, okay.
so at this point, it just looks like they're just like fine tuning the experience, and then they'll probably set a date on it. They usually come out like October, November. So
I see.
yeah, but it looks fun, and there's a couple in there that I'm like, oh, we'll have a good time, like trying this. I still think
And they're
there's a
gonna be like,
couple.
no, I don't like this.
They fucking love Murder Trivia Party. Which I
Nice.
mean, that's fair. That's a great game. Like I love it. Like I do
Mm-hmm.
love the Murder Trivia Party. Oh, and I snaked out like the best win last time too.
Very
It was
nice.
so great. Like it was one of those ones. Like there was six of us, and then it was just like me and DJ were the only two left, and I was in the lead. And then he sneaks in, and he like steals it from me, and I lose. And I was like, no. And then the next time, it came back through the other way. Except DJ was alive and I was dead. I was like the leading ghost, and I took him over right at the end, and I stole it. And everyone was so upset. And I had the, I had like the
Mm-hmm.
greatest like kill in the Murder Trivia Party, because you know how like when you have people who lose, you compete, and then like
Mm-hmm.
the loser gets sent off to like the abyss. So what happened was when it was just me and DJ left,
Mm-hmm.
like we got a quiplash question, and I don't even remember the quiplash question. It was like, "What do you like for breakfast?" or something dumb, and
Okay.
DJ wrote something serious, and I just wrote "fuck Mike." And they all wanted me to lose, so they all voted for me.
Oh, that's genius.
Yeah. So I was like, ah, and DJ was like, "You piece of shit," and I was like, "Well,
Fucking
guess what?
genius.
I'm like, they all thought it was you, and they thought that it was a safe. They wanted me to lose, and guess what? Sucker. That's what it is. It's
Get fucked.
oh yeah, no, master class.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah. So there's that to look forward to too. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah.
There's a. I don't. I mean, WarioWare comes out this week. I'm excited for that.
That's tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah. Or tonight if you're feeling like staying up. I'm not because I have to be up at 5 in the morning. But I will
Yeah,
be
I'm
excited to play it
good.
tomorrow. Yeah. So I mean, I think we're on like a pretty good side of things. And I was thinking about it too because we talked about it. I think last week or the week before that Nintendo was rumored to be doing a direct like before WarioWare came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about it because usually they like today would be the day that they probably would have done it. But then I was
Yeah.
like, but the thing is, like the other thing that they do is they won't put their Nintendo Direct up against something.
Mm-hmm.
So once Sony announced that date, I bet they like were like, nope. If they were planning one, they're like,
Mm-hmm.
nope, no, thank you, and they just pushed it to another day because they liked the press and the build up.
Mm-hmm.
So if they had to compete with Sony, even though obviously like Nintendo's probably would have been more exciting
Oh
than what
yeah.
we've seen.
Oh maybe.
Like, I mean, I guarantee that everything we've seen would have come out in the next year.
Yeah, you're pretty much right about that.
Like, did there if Nintendo showed anything that was like 2023, I would have been like shocked, shocked. Like it's so rare for them to do it. I mean, it does happen. Like
Mm-hmm.
obviously, we've been sitting on Bayonetta 3 for a couple of years now,
Yeah, 6 years.
and Metroid Prime. It's been 3 years
Well, it's
since
been
we announced.
restarted multiple times.
It has. So, but neither of those they gave release dates for. So it's not like we were expecting them. But it does also kind of follow the annoyances I talked of before, where it's like, these games are coming, but you don't know when,
Yeah.
you don't know anything about them. But I guess on the flip side, they also didn't do a Scalebound where they kept on showing stuff off for it.
Well, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they just were like, it's coming. And they
Sure.
showed nothing. So, I mean, it's easy to forget about those kind of things like that. So,
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, I mean, I honestly feel like I'm not too worried about things to play for the rest of the year. But there's enough stuff there that's interesting to me.
I mean, I just recently got Hitman 3 for cheap, so like I'm playing that.
Yeah, you got that. Diablo 2 remake's coming out this month, even though you've already
That's
played it. So
that's well, no, you can only play the first two acts in the beta.
this,
But I mean, I guess if you mean like the old game, yeah, obviously I played it, but like there's definitely some quality of life things in the new version that made me be like, okay, cool. You know what I mean?
yeah, you had to pre-ordering it for what, PlayStation?
Yeah, PlayStation.
Yeah, you got that to look forward to. That'll be nice. So No More Heroes. That'll be nice.
Yeah. I mean, I'm playing that right now.
Yeah. So
And I love it. Oh, dude, they have this collaboration, right?
hmm
And you know his watch that allows him to like his thing that allows him to turn into a fucking mech. You know how he does the henshin thing and turns into the fucking mech
yeah.
and everything. They made a watch that has like that exact thing. It's so fucking cool.
So it actually lets you turn into a mech.
No, it doesn't let you turn into a mech in real life. But
I'd be like,
yeah.
I'm buying it. It's sold.
Yeah. Look how good it looks. I want all of it. It's too much money though. I specifically want the watch though. It's so fucking good,
Pretty sexy watch.
right?
Yeah.
The cheapest thing here are the shoes.
Yeah, even the backpack's more expensive. What's that
Yeah,
about?
I know.
I mean, I like the Henry watch too.
The
That was
Henry
nice.
watch is really good.
Also expensive.
Yeah, everything's like $200.
Yeah. Except for that one pair of shoes, it's 128.
Yeah, and it has this tension meter on it. It's actually kind of cool.
Oh,
But this is
okay.
like some kind of name brand Japanese company, so
Yeah.
like very well known name brand Japanese company.
Yeah. So, okay. Anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up?
Honestly, no. I want to go to
No.
bed. I'm tired.
Same. All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening to us tonight. Don't forget to find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. Or you can reach out
Mm-hmm.
to us on Facebook, Twitter, or you can send us email gamecrunchcast@gmail.com. Brandon,
Hey, how you doing?
what's any final thoughts?
I stream on Saturdays now because we are
Ooh.
moving our day.
Mhm.
Saturdays at 7 p.m. and this is will be the first Saturday we'll be streaming. And I'll be streaming Surgeon Simulator 2 and Craftopia. Uh,
Oh.
yeah, some weird ones. Fuck off. Okay, sorry. Some weird ones for this first Saturday stream. Technically, last week was the first Saturday stream, but all I did was play through every No More Heroes game except 3.
Fair.
So, but I did finish all of 2 and all of Travis Strikes Again.
Nice.
Travis Strikes Again was actually a very big slog until I got to the end, and that was a lot of fun. And then the end fucking soft locked me. I was very upset.
Ew.
Yeah, right?
You were playing the Steam release?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it happens in the Switch version also if you move too fast. So I found out it's just a issue with the game itself that has never been fixed.
Suda, you rascally.
Yeah, you know
bastard.
how you finished Travis Strikes Again, right?
Yeah.
All right, you know how when you go to the CIA building, you have those like teleporters you have to take, and like when you take them, they then like teleport you to a different part of the building and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that part of the building, then you have to like fight some enemies, and then you get to a place that'll be like right before you go to the last teleporter, and it's all during the Hotline Miami segment, and
Mm-hmm.
like the floor gets closed off and everything, and you're like locked in this tiny square box room that you have to fight in. Yeah, so that tiny square box room, turns out you can actually get aggro when you first come in off of some of the enemies through the walls. And if you get aggro when you first come in off of some of the enemies through the walls,
Mm-hmm.
then after you kill all the enemies in that room, the room doesn't unlock because you've already aggroed the enemies on the other side of the wall that you cannot defeat because now you're locked inside that room as well.
Oh, fun.
So I actually had that happen to me twice, I think, on stream, where I got soft locked in that room right before the last 20 minutes of the entire game.
That's super annoying.
It was awful because I had to, if I wasn't smart, I had to replay that entire segment of the CIA, which that is one of the longest segments of the entire game. and it's also very, very repetitive and not very good. So I decided to be a little bit smarter, and I just hit Alt F4 and then rebooted the game because I had hit a checkpoint right before that room that soft locked me. So that's what I had to
Oh,
do.
that's good.
Yeah, so I just had to like restart the game twice. So it wasn't as bad, but it was still annoying that it happened.
Yeah.
I did have fun playing the game though, just in general. My friend came in and was commentating with me on the game. He came in during the part where you have to like flip the different parts of the playboard around to like find the serial killer and everything. You know what I'm talking about? And he was like, my neighbor used to have this this carpet because it looked like those race car carpets and everything.
Yeah.
So he's like, my neighbor used to have this carpet. And I was just like, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I mean, my look back on that game was it was a bit of a slog, but
It was. I still had fun playing it. I actually played all of that game in one sitting.
oh, good. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was like 6 hours. I beat it in something.
Oh, that's not bad. It sounds about right.
Yeah, I finished 2 because I was like at the very end of it, and I was like, well, I need something else to do for the stream. I could play through all of, Travis Strikes Again, so that I could stream No More Heroes 3 finally. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do it. And my friend was like, can you actually play through all of it? And I was like, we're about to find out. I finished it at like 5:30 a.m.
Hey, not too shabby.
All right, that's it. Now I'm done. Sorry, I went on a tangent.
No problem. So I guess, anyways, with that said, my name's Mikey Anastasia. You can find me online. I'm Clash of Penguin on Twitter, your favorite gaming console. And until next week, game on.
Game on.
I watched a bunch of TV shows that are good, but I mean, none of them are like terribly exciting.
I watched some pay-per-views. That was fun.
What did I watch? I watched American Horror Stories. Horror Story.
The new one with the aliens?
So it's double feature. Aliens are in it, but we've not gotten to the aliens yet.
Okay.
We're still in the weird like vampire kind of thing with Macaulay Culkin.
Wait, Macaulay Culkin's in this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm more interested now.
Yeah, it is. It looks like how he did in that one movie where he was on drugs.
What?
What was that movie he did as an adult where he was kind of like a drug addict?
I have no idea.
I don't remember Macaulay Culkin's movies, but that is what he is like in this one. Except in real life, he no longer is.
Yeah.
As far as I know.
Yeah, he's doing better.
Normal. Yeah. It seems like he's doing a great job in this.
I watch him on quite a few YouTube things that, like, because he's pretty prevalent on a few of the YouTube series that I watch.
Yeah, so he's great in this. I've been watching Ted Lasso, which is an excellent show. That's on Apple TV. Like, excellent show.
I see.
Absolutely love it. What else? I've been watching South Park again. I've been on a South Park kick. So I'm watching some of that.
After you finish the game, you're like, I guess I'll watch the show now.
Yeah, I'll catch up on some of the episodes that I haven't seen. But the dumb thing is, I've been just going through and watching the episodes that I remember liking.
Time to catch up on the episodes I haven't seen. Never mind.
Well, like I watched the 2 COVID episodes. the
Mm-hmm.
one with the vaccine, and then the one about the pandemic. And
Mm-hmm.
I forgot I had already seen the vaccine one, so I saw that. And then I was just like, oh, I want to watch the Lemmy Winks episode. And I was like, oh, I want to watch Imagination Land. And then I was like, oh, I want to watch. So it's been like the greatest hits of South Park is what I've been watching. And then I've been watching another show it's on HBO now,
Mm-hmm.
and it's called The Other Two, which I had never heard of, but it's really funny. It's about basically there's this family of like 3 kids, and then the younger brother just
Okay.
suddenly becomes like a YouTube sensation and he becomes like a pop star.
Oh God, I bet it's awful.
No, because it's about the other siblings,
Oh,
and just how miserable their lives are compared to his, and it's funny.
mm.
So, it's the executive director is what's his name? Lauren Michaels, I think is what
Okay.
it is. He's the guy who does Saturday Night Live. So it
Oh,
kind of
okay.
has like a similar vibe to that in terms of like some of the comedy, because they obviously must have like some overlap in like writers, or at least did it at some point. But the show is just on point. Like it's funny. It's got some laugh out loud moments, and I've really been enjoying it. And so it just started its 2nd season. So the 1st season was on Comedy Central, then I guess HBO picked it up. So that is also good.
Okay.
And are there any other shows? Oh, those are the big ones that we've been watching. Oh, and then Murders in the Building, or There Are Only Murders in the Building. And that's the one. Did we talk about that last week? For some reason, I thought we talked about it. It's got Steve Martin and Selena Gomez, and I can't remember his name.
I don't know.
I don't remember. But it's funny. It's basically like these people. This guy's murdered in this building, and so they decided to make a podcast about solving the murder. So that's what they've been doing.
Wow.
Martin Short's the other guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's just funny. It started off slow, but it's got like mystery and
Mm-hmm.
it's got comedy.
All
Which
right.
is really good. But anyways, that's all I got to talk.